Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? Robert Duran here. Happy Thursday. Just taking a little break. Have another meeting. At 5:30. But anyways, guys, what I want to talk about today is I was stuck in the middle class matrix mindset. And if you guys are thinking the Matrix, oh, I want to see the movie. Well, actually, tonight I'm going to watch the Matrix. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Now, the reason why Matrix is so powerful to me, it's because the way it really talks about how real life is, how they're in the Matrix, life's a certain way, they unplug the people from the Matrix, and life is completely different, and what they thought was real is actually a program, right? So what I want to talk about today is I was brought up middle class. Now, I do want to specify middle class is not based on money. It's a mindset. There are people making millions and millions of dollars that are middle class mindset. Okay, it's not about money, and that's a misconception that middle class is based on money. It's not based on money. It is the mindset. So growing up, right? Growing up as kids, if you remember when you were a kid, before reality, when you thought everything was perfect, there was a mindset that we had when we were kids. And that was imagination, right? That was thinking big. When your parents asked you, hey, what do you want to be? Some of you probably said, I want to be a rock star, or I want to be an astronaut, or I want to turn into a dinosaur, right? That was the mindset of being a kid. It was being creative, right? It was about thinking big. It was about being unrealistic. But what happens is, as we get older and life really starts to settle, there are certain things that we're taught, that we're programmed, that as we age and get older, we're stuck. And this is why I'm so passionate about what I do as a Grant Cardone licensee, is we are able to unprogram, take you out of that programming that happens as we age, so that way you can be successful and design the life that you want. So me personally, and this is getting personal, but I'm pretty sure some of you can relate to it. I'm going to give you a list of certain things I was programmed as a kid that started to affect me as I got older. The first one was be realistic. Now, my family, and I have nothing bad to say about my family. They've always supported me in every aspect. But realistically, right? Realistically, it's even part of the programming. I would get that. Be realistic. And the problem with being realistic is you're settling for what you have right now rather than trying to continue to get something bigger, right? So a lot of us, with that be realistic mentality, we're thinking, oh, well, this is all I'm ever going to have because it's realistic. I can see it. Versus saying, man, if I work harder and I delay the success, I don't get the instant gratification, I delay it, I'm going to get something bigger. But again, it's a middle class quote that's very popular. Be realistic. Number two, have a college degree as backup. Now, this was a really big one for me. I didn't want to go to college. I've always felt like I couldn't fit into the college world. But I was programmed to be like, you have to go to college. And even if you don't know what you want to do, have it as backup. So what's happening, two things are happening there. The first one is saying, hey, don't go full force on your dreams because you have a backup. So it's saying don't commit 100% over here because subconsciously you're thinking that you're already going to fail and now you're down here. And the second part of that quote, have college as a backup, is, you're putting yourself into debt, big debt, that you're not going to see it right now, but in the future, as you get older, you're going to have to repay that with interest. So that was another big one that I had to learn the hard way. Don't talk to strangers. Guys, don't talk to strangers, right? How many of you heard that? Comment below if you heard don't talk to strangers. Now, what's happening here is we're teaching the kids, hey, be quiet, hide in the corner, don't talk to anyone. So if you wonder why the kids are very, they get like panic attacks and anxiety attacks because now they're up on stage or they have to talk to someone. Well, it's because all their lives they're brought up, don't talk to anyone, don't talk to anyone, so they get isolated. So we need to start changing this. Talk to strangers. The thing is, there's a time and a place for it. And then they also have to be confident, right? So there's things that you can do, but that middle class quote of don't talk to strangers is affecting us as we get older. Finish all your food. Finish all your food was another big one that I would hear. Now, the problem with finish all your food, it's basically saying, hey, one, overeat. So obesity is higher. But two, what's happening is it's saying, hey, there's a shortage of food. And when you have that shortage mentality, then what's happening is you're like in that survival mode, right? Like if you're a caveman and you have just a certain amount of food, where if you eat when you're full and then you throw away the rest, you're thinking abundantly, saying, hey, I'm not going to eat leftovers. I'm going to eat something better. I'm going to eat something fresh. So you're always thinking abundance versus survival and just trying to protect the little bit that you have. So that was another one. Finish all your food. Turn off all the lights, right? So how many of you, and even myself, turn off all the lights? Now, don't get me wrong. You do want to be respectful to the light grid. But a lot of times, I mean, I remember growing up, I'd be in the room. I'd be in the room playing a game, and then everything was off. They would turn off the light. They would turn off the TV. And I'm like, what's going on? I'm watching TV. No, that's it. You're wasting too much electricity as I'm watching TV. So as growing up, again, it's that survival mode. It's saying, hey, being realistic as in, hey, this is all the money that we have. We're never going to get higher, and we got to survive with what we have. Now, don't get me wrong. Be respectful to the earth and the energy grid, but don't be exaggerative. Next one, money doesn't grow on trees. How many of you have told that to your kids or heard that from your parents? Money doesn't grow on trees. You're right. It doesn't grow on trees, right? But consciously, you're basically saying, hey, there's a shortage of money. Since money doesn't grow on trees, right? Because we're thinking about a tree with money. Subconsciously, what are we thinking? That there's a shortage of money. That we got to go around the entire forest to find a tree with money. Like there's such a shortage. So guys, there is not a shortage of money. Even though it doesn't grow on trees, there's an abundance amount of money out there. But having that quote really, really messes up a person thinking that there's a shortage because money doesn't grow on trees. Next one. Work until you're 65 and then enjoy life. How many of you have heard that? Right? Work 40, 50, 60, 70 years, then you can retire. Then you could call it quits. Then you can enjoy life. How many of you have lost someone that didn't even make it past 50? So these are the middle class mindsets that we're taught. And realistically, you can create the lifestyle that you want with the amount of money that you want, with everything that you can design everything. So imagine telling your kids that you can create everything. You don't have to work 40, 50, 60 years. You just have to learn how to master money, how to master making money, how to create multi-streams of income so that way you can use that to pay for everything and own your time. It's the same lecture, different conversation, different topic. And the last one is go big or go home. That is the worst thing you can say. I know Grant Cardone says go big or go bigger. But even just saying go big or go home, I mean, how many of you have heard that before? Basically what you're saying is go all in and quit. Go all in, and if it doesn't work out, go home. That's it. Done. You give up. Go back to your regular job. Give up on your dreams. So these are programs that you and I have been raised, and there's a lot of other ones. Comment below if you were raised with something similar or a quote that I didn't mention. There's a lot of them. But what I want to say is that the middle class is not based on money. It's based on a mindset. There are millionaires that finish all their food, that are overweight, that believe that there's a shortage. because they're brought up like that. So it's not about the money, it's the mindset. So guys, for 2022, if you're interested in making more money and getting these middle class mindsets that you and I are programmed as a kid and programmed as we get older and programming our kids under us, if you're tired of living the middle class lifestyle, then comment below yes. And we have a program, the 10X Mindset Program, where we're going to start to reprogram everything that you once had, get rid of it, and start reprogramming for you to start being creative, to start thinking bigger, to start thinking unrealistic, and to go after your dreams, not what society tells you. All right, guys, I hope this was great information. Love you guys. Happy 2022. Hope you have a great Christmas, and we'll be talking soon. Bye-bye.